All right, let's dive right in. Today we're talking about that powerful, ancient force deep inside your head that gets you out of bed, makes you crave that morning coffee, and pretty much drives every single action you take. You know that feeling, right? That sudden, intense urge that just seems to pop up out of nowhere and demands your attention? It feels like a conscious choice we're making. But what if I told you it's actually a signal from a much, much deeper and older part of your brain? Yep, that feeling, it's coming from your brain's ancient motivation engine. And that urge, to check your phone just one more time, even when you know you shouldn't, that's not about willpower or a lack of it, not at all. It's a finely tuned piece of biological machinery that's been in the making for millions of years. And today, we're going to pop the hood and see how this incredible engine really works. Okay, so first up, let's meet this master circuit. This isn't just one little spot in the brain, it's a whole network of neural structures that evolved for one very simple reason: to keep us alive. It's designed to motivate us to go find things that boost our chances of survival. Things like food, water, and connecting with other people. In the world of neuroscience, they call this the reward system. Now, what's really fascinating here is just how big its job description is. It's not just about feeling good. It's about the desire to feel good, the motivation to go get what you desire, and the learning that helps you get it again and again. It is literally the engine that powers all of our goals. But reward circuit sounds a little, robotic and cold, doesn't it? The neuroscientist Jacques Panksepp gave it a much better, much more active name: the seeking drive. And that really frames it for what it is: not just a system, but a fundamental emotional impulse that every single one of us shares. And this really gets to the heart of it. This seeking drive is that feeling of curiosity you get, that urge to explore, that kind of restless energy to investigate and learn new things. It's the enthusiastic anticipation that fuels all of our appetites, whether we're hungry for knowledge, for food, or for success. It's the engine of our engagement with the world. So the main thing to get here is that this one system drives our curiosity and fires up our motivation for, everything. And the fuel for this engine? You guessed it, the famous neurotransmitter dopamine. But, and this is a huge but, dopamine's role is widely misunderstood. It is not the pleasure chemical, it is the pursuit chemical. It's the go-get-it molecule. Now, this brings us to one of the most important, most fascinating distinctions in all of neuroscience. The motivation to get something is completely separate in your brain from the pleasure you feel when you actually get it. Wanting and liking are two different things. This chart lays it out perfectly. Over here on the left, you've got wanting. This is the dopamine system in action. It's the craving, the desire. It's like a motivational magnet pulling you towards a goal. It's that intense, I have to get that feeling. Then over on the right, you have liking. This is the actual pleasure, the satisfaction. And that is run by totally different systems, mainly the brain's own opioids and endocannabinoids. This is the calm, this feels good moment. This all comes from some incredible, groundbreaking work by researchers Terry Robinson and Kent Burridge. They were the ones who showed that dopamine is all about the anticipation and motivation to get a reward, not the pleasure of the reward itself. And this one single insight, it changes everything, especially when we start to look at what happens when this system goes wrong. A healthy seeking drive is flexible. It explores, it learns, it moves on to new and interesting things. But sometimes, this incredible drive can get stuck. It can become fixated on a single target, and that's when it leads to compulsive, unhealthy habits. So how does this actually happen? Let's walk through the steps. First, everything's normal. Your seeking drive is exploring all sorts of things. But then, step 2, a substance or a behavior gives your brain a massive, unnatural spike of dopamine. This starts a chain reaction. By step 3, your brain's actual circuitry starts to change. The wanting system becomes hypersensitive, and pretty soon, you're not even chasing the reward anymore. You're just chasing the cues associated with it. And finally, the seeking drive loses all that wonderful flexibility and just becomes a compulsive, fixated loop. This whole process is so much more than just a bad habit. It's a biological hijacking of your brain's core motivational machinery. The changes are real, and they happen all the way down at the molecular level. And the key culprit in all this is a molecule called delta phos-B. I want you to think of it like a molecular ratchet. Every time you engage in that highly rewarding behavior, this protein builds up in your brain cells, and it clicks that ratchet one notch tighter. Click. Now, unlike most other proteins, this stuff is incredibly stable. It sticks around for weeks,
physically changing your neural pathways and cementing that compulsive wanting for the long haul.
And just look at this stark contrast. In a healthy system, your focus is flexible, you're exploring new things. But in a hijacked one, your focus gets totally narrowed, fixated on just one target. Your behavior goes from being adaptable and goal-directed to just compulsive and habitual. And the key difference maker is that delta phosphate overexpression. It literally flips the outcome from learning and thriving to addiction and a deep disinterest in everything else life has to offer. And this isn't only about addiction. When this exact same system gets out of whack, it's involved in other conditions too. That profound lack of motivation you can feel in some forms of depression, that can be linked to a blunted, underactive seeking drive. In ADHD, an underactive reward system can make everyday tasks feel unrewarding, which drives a constant search for more high-stimulation activities. It just goes to show you how absolutely central this one system is to our overall mental well-being. So after all that, what's the takeaway? Look, the point of all this isn't to be pessimistic. It's to be empowering. Just understanding the machinery inside your own head is the first and most critical step toward getting back in the driver's seat. Think about it. Just knowing that difference between wanting and liking is like a superpower. The next time you feel that powerful urge to scroll through your phone late at night, you can actually pause and ask yourself, okay, wait, is this my wanting system firing on all cylinders, or is this something I will genuinely like and feel good about afterward? Recognizing that intense craving is just the dopamine signal, a biological suggestion, gives you that powerful little space to choose your response instead of just reacting on autopilot. So I'll leave you with this question. This incredible, ancient, seeking drive is the source of your curiosity, your ambition, your engagement with life. It is your motivation engine. The real question is, what goals, what curiosities, and what passions are truly worthy of its power? Thanks for digging into this with me.